So, synchronicity, right? Jungian would have loved this moment because I thought I was going to be doing ayahuasca in Iquitos. And a good friend of mine, Marianne, told me, no, you need to go to San Roque. San Roque is where you need to be. And I thought I was only, she told me about Chirapamanta. So I thought I was only going to be here for 2 weeks just to get welcomed into the jungle and then make my way into Iquitos. And then the first person that I meet getting off the airplane was Nuno. And I'm telling Nuno that I'm here for ayahuasca and entity extraction. And he was like, wow, well, you need to meet my friend Gabrielle. And so I did meet Gabrielle, but it took me a month to get ready and prepare to come up here. And after spending some time at Chirapamanta and partaking in ayahuasca ceremonies at Womanwasi, because I wanted my first ayahuasca experience to be in a group setting, so I did it with Emilio and Argentinian flair with lights and dancing. So it was a good way to get welcomed into the ayahuasca world, since there are many rumors and fears and people are like, there's a lot of fear around ayahuasca and uncertainty. So it was a good way to get welcomed into the plant world. And then I was ready for more one-on-one coaching with plant medicine, and that's why I came up here and ended up doing a 14-day, 10 days went to 14 days. Did a 14-day retreat with Gabrielle. So, with Womanwasi, especially when I had the first ceremony with ayahuasca, but then when we did it with Walter, which is a Shipibo shaman, and the first 2 hours were spent alone with ayahuasca, and then I got to know her spirit better, and then the Icaros came later, and then that brought up more emotions. And after that, understanding ayahuasca more, I still had a lot of fears and negative self-talk and kidnapping thoughts, like just thoughts that would come up. I would be in a restaurant in Tarapoto and thoughts of kidnapping would come up. Or I'd be scared because of what happened 10 years ago to me, an online date that turned into a nightmare. I'd be scared of going into taxis. And so even though I did ayahuasca, I still had a lot of fears and PTSD and trauma stuck in the body. Like I wasn't able to meditate. I would have pain in my knees. And so that's when I knew I had to do deeper work. It's like, okay, I was welcomed into the ayahuasca plant kingdom. Now I knew what it was like, but now it's time to dig deeper and spend one-on-one time with a shaman healer to figure out, where are these thoughts coming from? Why do I feel so weak? Why can't I take a taxi, by myself? And that's when I knew I was ready to work with Gabrielle. So the main reason of doing this retreat was to heal the trauma in my body, PTSD, the thoughts that would come up, and but also to clean my body, and at that point is when, I spent 20 years drinking in America. It's very common for people to push down their emotions with food, alcohol, drugs, smoking, and I smoked a lot in the military, but I've been drinking since I was 17. And so with the ayahuasca and Syrian root purge, that's what I felt come out, is all the situations that I put myself in, or that I was a part of, where I was numbing, constantly numbing, pushing down, and you think that you're partying, and you think that these are good, but in reality, you're putting darkness into your body, and you're pushing your emotions down instead of letting them rise up, healing them, and cleaning. And so all of that came out, and now I don't think I could ever drink again. When you see how much damage you did to your body for 20 years and what you put yourself through, your soul through, and when you see all that come out, I look at alcohol now and I just want to puke now. So I'm really glad that we did that. And then we closed the 14 days because it ended up, we pushed it out. And I was fasting the whole time too, 10 days fasting. And we closed it with ayahuasca chacruna. And so when you add the chacruna, that's when you add the visuals. I saw things I didn't want to see, but that's something that everybody needs to go through to see our lives, the people that are around us, more clearly, like from all angles. I was a bit scared or hesitant, but the process was very thorough, and the 10-day ended up being 14 days. And it was supposed to only be a 3-day fast, and I pushed it to 6, and then pushed it to 10 days of fasting. And it wasn't easy, but it was very thorough. It was difficult, but we started with hypnosis and extraction, and we would do rape every day so that the mind would shut down and you go more into your body, because we have trauma stuck in our body, and then we need to figure out where is this pain coming from. Then we did hypnosis. We did a lot of forgiveness from childhood, forgiveness of mother, forgiveness of father, forgiveness of friends. And when you go into your past like that, Gabrielle said, then you're ready for the plant work. So we did a lot of the hypnosis and forgiveness, and then we started with the tobacco purge. I don't remember the first tobacco purge, what I purged, but the second one, I felt my entire military experience come out. 3 years, and that's a lot of dark energy that I absorbed when I was there, because the war does come back, and all the drinking and all the suicides, and so I felt all of that come out. And so what I kept saying during this process is that, as Jesus would say, that you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. And so a big part of what Gabrielle does here is to clean your vessel, to clean your body. And that you have to do that in different parts in different ways. A lot of it is forgiveness and extraction. And then once you get to a certain point, then you use plant medicine to do the rest of the work. You start with the tobacco purges, and so that the military experience came out, and then we did with the ayahuasca purge. The first ayahuasca purge, I wasn't able to puke, and Gabrielle realized that my mental gets too involved, and I'm not able to let go and clean my body. And so for the second time, he added Sirenru, which is a plant from Africa, and it's the same molecule as ayahuasca. Therefore, it was stronger, and then I was able to purge the second time because my mental shut down. Yeah, so as I was saying, we finished off the 14-day retreat with ayahuasca chacruna. And when you add the chacruna, that's when you add the visuals. And so I saw things I didn't really want to see. I was really cold for an hour to an hour and a half. And then, with Gabriel, he uses water for both the ayahuasca purge and chacruna, because your body wants to purge, and if you don't add water, your body doesn't have enough to bring the stuff out. The stuff wants to come out, and if the water helps it come out. And sometimes I would fight, I don't want to drink the water, and you have to force yourself, because when I didn't, my body was trying to cleanse, but then it didn't have enough water to do it, so I had to learn the hard way. And then I So with ayahuasca chacruna is when I saw things, didn't really want to see people's entities, things that we need to be careful of, like the people that we surround ourselves with, and you know, the toxic links, the energy vampires, those all exist, whether you want to believe it or not. Dark energy is there. We have to be careful of what situations we put ourselves in, who we hang out with, and be careful when you feel that when people eat off your energy, because that does happen. And in any case, so with ayahuasca chacruna, like I said, I saw things I didn't want to see, but now I'm seeing the whole picture of how people are and why they are the way they are. And yeah, sometimes we need to see that. And so the reason why I pushed the fasting from 3 to 6 to 10 was because I was having a teeth problem, and the dentist in Tarapoto was saying I needed a root canal. And I've had cavities for the last 10 years. In the military, they screwed up my teeth. They put metal filling in, mercury, and the last time I went to the dentist, they said I had 9 cavities. And so I just kept pushing the fasting because I figured I needed to get rid of the sugars and the alcohol in my body so that I never want to go to a dentist ever again. And so it wasn't easy, but with Gabriel's support and with this environment that you're in, it's easier to keep pushing yourself. And you know, you don't know how much you can handle until you actually try. And so we were doing Kundalini, Kung Fu, plant medicine, hypnosis. On day 6 of the fast, we even did a hike to a waterfall, which was 3 hours there, 3 hours back. And I did all of that with fasting. And you don't know how much you can handle until you put yourself in that situation and you force yourself so you can see what are my boundaries, how far can I go, how far can I push myself, and so that you can detox your body. And detoxing, purging is not easy, it's not comfortable, and it's a messy process, but it's something that we all need to do, and not everybody's ready for it. I spent 15 years preparing for this moment. Went to India twice, spent time in ashrams, studied East-West psychology so that I can understand Jungian psychology, the shadow self, the ego. That's what most of us don't want to do, is go into the shadow self to realize what are the dark aspects of ourselves that we need to correct. And yeah, so this work is important, very important. Right, so that's one of the things I didn't know that we were going to do. I knew we were going to work with plant medicine and hypnosis, but what makes Gabriel different from the other shamans is he understands that a lot of the things that prevent us from moving forward in our path is not only toxic links that we have with the past, and but also situations that need forgiveness, whether it is our biological father that we need to forgive because he wasn't there for me. Maybe it was our mother that we need to forgive because she was too strict, too hard, and I didn't have a childhood. Was it a roommate that we need to forgive? Was it a ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend? There are situations that come up that we think about, or dreams that tell us that there is something we need to look at with this particular person. And so Gabriel, every day he'll review what the dreams are telling you so that he knows what we need to work on. Is it hypnosis? Is it extraction? Do we need to do plant medicine? With the extraction, I didn't really understand how it worked, or did it work? Because what Gabriel does is we do the rape, which is a tobacco snuff. You snuff it up the nose, and that was hard for me because I didn't understand what it was. But it's just tobacco with plants, and the reason why you do it is that you could shut down the mental. It's really hard to go into your body and fix things in your body, in your heart, when the mental is interfering. So you need to quiet this down. So that's what the rape does. And then he'll use the Tibetan bowl, like this, to put you in a hypnotic state. And when you're in a hypnotic state, then he can go into your subconscious and figure out which person do you need to, which relationship do you need to work on in this session, you know? And then after that, after the forgiveness, or whether we go through childhood or your inner child, he'll go into extraction. And this is another thing, not everybody believes in this, but entities do exist. When Jesus was around, you know, he understood this very clearly, and he could talk directly to the demons inside people and extract them just by speaking to them. It's raining here, so I'll speak a little bit louder. And, you know, Gabriel isn't Jesus, but this is what he's trying to do, but with the help of rape and hypnosis and his Tibetan bowl, he's able to go into the subconscious and extract these entities that have attached themselves to us. So the reason why you don't want to drink a lot or do a lot of drugs is when you do that, your aura, you no longer have a protective aura, and your vibration goes down. And so things, dark energy, entities can attach themselves to you. And my friend Heather proved this to me when she explained that all of a sudden she wanted to kill her cat, or she was attracted to her gardener, and she's like, where are these thoughts coming from? And her friend in Ireland, who does entity extraction via phone, because she can speak directly to the entities, told her, you have a entity attached to you, and she told him that you're dead. And Heather even felt his disappointment in her body. So entities do exist, and if you have thoughts of suicide, or just weird thoughts in general, or even depression, it could be an entity. And so these are the things that need to get pulled out. And then you need to clean with plant medicine. And so all of this is just different types of cleansing. There's psychological cleansing, emotional cleansing, entity cleansing, purging, all of, you know. So Gabrielle uses like 10 different methods to clean the body. Yeah. It's very important work. Right, so yeah, one of the difficult parts was during the retreat after the second ayahuasca purge, when Gabrielle added the Syrian roux. It was really strong, and so I felt really weak, and I couldn't make it back inside the local. I just wanted to sit outside. I could barely walk, and Gabrielle kept telling me, get back inside the loca because the space outside is not protected. And I was like, nah, there's no way I could pick up an entity. It's the jungle. I mean, it's pretty out here. How can you pick something up? You know, and then I finally made it back inside. Next thing you know, I'm not sleeping for 4 nights. And I'm thinking, oh, Kundalini awakening, you know, it's the ayahuasca. I have so much energy now, I can't sleep. But then the last time I tried to sleep, something woke me up. So it's like something was preventing me from processing, because Gabrielle said you process in the middle of the night. Your subconscious absorbs what it has learned. And something was preventing me from sleeping. And that's when Gabrielle was like, maybe you picked up an entity. And sure enough, I did when I was outside the loca. And that night he cleared it, and I was able to sleep. So that's when I realized entities do exist, and that his extraction does work. Because a lot of the times I thought my mind was making it up. It's like, this isn't real. My mind is making these names up. Now I know that it's real. Entities do exist, and they need to be removed. And just because you do ayahuasca doesn't mean that the entities have been removed. They could still stay inside your body. Ayahuasca is one thing, and she is a healer, and she's very strong. And if you let her energy move, she can, I was able to cure my tooth infection just by spending 2 nights with her. And that's when I knew that she's a powerful healer. But it doesn't mean that the entities have been removed. It doesn't mean that your addictions are cured overnight, you know? And so that's why Gabriel's process is very intense, difficult, but it's very thorough, because he combines all of it, you know, the hypnosis, the forgiveness, the childhood, the entity extraction, plus all the purging, the fasting. You need all of it to just get all of that crap out. So it's a very thorough process. So yeah, very grateful that I did it. It wasn't easy. I lost a lot of weight. I wanted to eat rice every day, but I made it through. I learned that I am capable of a lot more than I think I am, especially when I was hiking, doing Kung Fu and Kundalini and gardening on 10 days of fasting, no food. So I am capable of a lot more than I think I am. I also need to protect my space better, create boundaries, to not let everybody in. Not everybody needs to be in a relationship with me. I don't need to be in a relationship with everybody. I don't need to be nice to everybody. I need to be more selective. I don't need to be liked. You know, that comes from my childhood. My father, my biological father, wasn't there for me. He ignored me. So I became this person that seeked everybody's love and appreciation and attention, because I didn't get that when I was younger. And so I was friendly to everybody. And what I learned during this and our discussions is that I don't need to be friends with everybody. I don't need to have everybody's love. That I need to be very selective with who I'm friends with and who I hang out with, because not everybody is good. Not everybody is a being of light. Not everybody's at a high vibration. And why would I waste my time? As I head out to Cusco tomorrow, this morning I was meditating and I was crying because I'm gonna miss this place. Gabriel, this location that he chose is very special. It's away from the city. There's no towers here, EMF radiation or thought pollution, you know, so this is a really good place to heal. So if you have suicidal tendencies, depression, or whatever, this is a really good place to heal, because you're surrounded by Gaia. So you have all this green energy. At night it feels like a orchestra with all the noise of the crickets and the frogs and the birds. And so I always knew that I was going to do ayahuasca in the jungle. I've had opportunities. I could have participated in underground ayahuasca ceremonies in San Francisco and the city, but I always knew that it had to be in the jungle. And so I'm really glad that I came out here, especially to San Roque, because it's even quieter than Iquitos. It's very small, and there's actually only 2 healers or shamans in the area, and Gabriel is one of them. So it's a very special place. The ayahuasca is not grown in this particular region, but in the region over. But to be surrounded by Gaia like this, it's very special, and so that's why I was crying this morning. So I'm going to miss this place, but you know, there's a reason why I'm heading to Cusco and Sacred Valley. I have some people I need to meet there, and then I head to Ukraine, and so yeah, I just wanted to add, for those of you that are looking for healing and cleansing and detoxing and healing your past, this is the place to do it. And Gabriel has the right program for you. Yeah, so as a summary, I wanted to say I'm really glad I did this 14-day retreat with Gabriel, especially his one-on-one approach, which is very different from other shamans. Most shamans do it in group sessions, group settings, but his one-on-one approach and the way he adapts to each patient and caters, like not everybody needs Kung Fu, you know, not everybody needs this much hypnosis or extraction or 2 tobacco purges. Maybe somebody needs 3, maybe somebody needs more ayahuasca purges, maybe somebody needs more extraction. So he caters and adapts to each patient. So I'm really glad that I got to work with him for 14 days, especially in this setting. And so, you know, I always knew that I was going to do ayahuasca in the jungle. Many people do ayahuasca in the cities. I always knew that it had to be in the jungle where it's grown. So it's not necessarily grown in this region, but the region over. It's very important for healing work to be done, you know, surrounded by nature, because during the ayahuasca ceremonies or hypnosis, it's very helpful to hear the nature around you, and you hear it's like an orchestra of critters, and you don't know if it's frogs or birds or, like, you know, there's like 500 different types of sounds, and it's really helpful to go deeper into ourselves, to listen when there's no distractions of EMF radiation, cell phone towers, thought pollution, city pollution, anxiety. You don't want any of that. So if you're ready for healing, clearing, and cleaning, and forgiving, this is the right place for you. And you need to do it in Gaia, surrounded by nature. And that's all for now.